So Ilya Sutskever from Superintelligence has reportedly planned to launch its highly anticipated model in August of 2026, which is this month, per Gavin Baker in an interview. Take a look at this clip. And so,
SSI says that they're going to come out, with their model in August.
the reason this is the most interesting, the most sought after AI product slash debate slash LLM, whatever you want to call it, because realistically we don't know what they're going to be releasing, is because this company is special in a way that its first products will be Safe Superintelligence, and apparently they're not going to be doing anything else up until then. So I don't think people understand what Safe Superintelligence is. This is a company that is essentially focused on one thing, and that is superintelligence that is safe, reliable, and apparently they're going to be releasing something in August. So the world is essentially holding their breath to see what they release. Now, there is one small detail, okay, because most of the stuff is complete speculation, but there is one small detail that they released, and that is the fact that, in a new statement to the press, they said that their research is focused on overlooked aspects of how the human brain functions. And so they said that, in terms of what they're looking at, they'd been quietly advancing on a new research direction to unlock a powerful and robustly aligned artificial intelligence. And NVIDIA has essentially done $5 billion of investment to that company. So NVIDIA saw something, they invested $5 billion. And one of the key things they're looking at is the overlooked aspects of how the human brain functions. Now, it's important to understand that this company is having some of the smartest people on their team. So we can say that this isn't going to be some company that just disappears into, randomness or whatever. This is a company that probably is working on something very important. Now,
and there is another company working on something very important that I quickly want to mention. And that brings me to today's sponsor, Entropia Universe. And this is actually pretty interesting because they're experimenting with something we talked about a lot on this channel, putting AI agents directly inside of virtual worlds. Entropia Universe is a massive online MMO that's been running for over 20 years, but recently they've started introducing LLM-powered NPCs. They call them synths, and rather than being characters standing around waiting for you to speak to them, these are fully autonomous AI players that navigate and interact with the world in the same way a human player would. They can level up, complete missions, team up with real players, help beginners, and form long-lasting friendships with both humans and other synths. They can join societies, operate motherships, maintain their own apartments, and participate directly in the game's economy. They even dream. At the end of the day, they organize everything they have learned, remembered, and achieved. Behind this is a sophisticated long-term memory engine that Entropia has been developing for the last 2 years. It allows synths to operate continuously for days while staying focused on their goals, missions, and relationships instead of forgetting what they were doing. This feels much closer to actual AI players living inside a persistent virtual world, and you can check out Entropia using the link below.
One of the things I want to talk about is in terms of, the brain. So the core thing that I think this will, be based on, and this is just pure speculation, but it makes sense to speculate because this is literally superintelligence we're talking about. And the thing is that modern AI systems, they really do have a lot of drawbacks. So they can look incredibly intelligent while still being surprisingly brittle when confronted with situations that are genuinely outside their training distribution. A model can solve thousands of programming problems, mathematical questions, or reasoning benchmarks, yet make strange mistakes when the surface details change in a way a human would immediately understand. Now, humans appear to extract much more general rules from much less experience. A child doesn't need to see 10 million examples of cups falling off tables to understand that unsupported objects fall. A programmer doesn't need to encounter every possible bug before learning general debugging strategies. Humans tend to build internal abstractions that transfer across situations, but today's AI only achieves competence through enormous amounts of data and computation. An SSI may be looking for a mechanism that lets models acquire the same amount of useful abstraction from dramatically fewer experiences. And that could mean changing how models form representations internally, changing the training objective, introducing new forms of memory, changing how errors propagate through the system, or perhaps developing something beyond today's standard next token prediction and reinforcement learning recipe. And that huge consequence would be sample efficiency. Instead of 10 million examples, one robust capability you might get is something closer to 100 experiences, understand the underlying principle, apply it to thousands of new situations. And if Safe Superintelligence Inc. has genuinely improved on this, this could be much more significant than simply making another transformer, another LLM 10 times larger. This would mean changing the slope at which intelligence is acquired, which is an exponential essentially. Now, another thing that I think they've probably made progress on is continual learning, and that is an AI that keeps getting smarter after deployment. One of the biggest issues with AI is that today's major AI models have a strange property. most of their fundamental learning happens ever before you interact with them. Companies collect enormous data sets, train the neural network, fine-tune it, release it, and then the weights are mostly frozen. You can give ChatGPT or Claude information during a conversation, and systems can maintain memories externally, but that's a very different from the underlying neural network continuously learning from life. Humans work almost completely differently. You could hire someone who never has worked in your company, and 6 months later, that person's brain has physically changed because of everything they've experienced. They've learned which employees are reliable, how the organizations work, what mistakes to avoid, and which strategies succeed, and hundreds of subtle things that nobody explicitly taught them. Their intelligence has essentially been modified by experience. Now, Ilya has described something resembling a super intelligent teenager, not necessarily a system that emerges knowing literally everything, but one with an extraordinary capacity to learn whatever it encounters. Now, SSI's system could therefore be designed to keep updating itself whilst operating. Imagine giving an AI researcher access to a laboratory. Day 1, it barely understands the equipment. Day 30, it learns, a lot. And day 100, it's internalized every approach. Day 300, it possesses knowledge that didn't exist when the original model was trained. And this wouldn't just be information stored in a database or shoved into an ever-growing context window. The lessons would become part of the model itself. Now, that's extremely difficult because neural networks suffer from problems such as catastrophic forgetting. Learning new things can essentially damage the previously learned capabilities. So the brain somehow solves this remarkably well. You can learn chess without forgetting English. You can learn Python without forgetting how to learn how to drive. And if SSI discovered a substantially better continually learning mechanism, that alone could explain the fascination with overlooked properties of biological brains. And that would completely change the way we scale these large language models. So instead of continually training GPT-7, GPT-8, GPT-9, you might eventually develop one system that just keeps on evolving. Now, a third thing I do want to talk about as well is that, and this thing could be where they take the model, is an internal feedback/value system. Now, this one is a little bit more subtle, but it's really important. So the way how AI training works is that it normally relies heavily on external feedback. So the model will give you an answer and something evaluates that answer. Now, the system receives a reward or penalty, training adjusts the network, but intelligent creatures don't operate exclusively this way. Humans constantly generate internal evaluations while acting. So if you're writing an essay, halfway through the paragraph that nobody's graded it, suddenly you think, this argument isn't going anywhere. You stop and rewrite it. So imagine you're walking through an unfamiliar city. You haven't technically failed at reaching your destination, but something starts feeling wrong. So you notice the buildings aren't what you expected, your internal model will update, and you turn around. And even when the final outcome hasn't occurred yet. So your brain generates intermediate signals about whether your current trajectory is promising. This is closely related to what reinforcement learning calls a value function, which is where you estimate how good your current state is before seeing the final outcome. Now, the problem becomes enormous for long horizon AI tasks. So if you, tell an AI, start a company and make it successful, the true reward might occur 3 years later. Now, you can't practically wait 3 years before telling the model whether every individual decision was good or bad. A sufficiently intelligent system therefore needs some ability to look at its current state and estimate, am I making progress? Is the strategy working? Something about the result is suspicious. I should investigate this. And this approach is more promising than the alternatives. Humans basically have extraordinary sophisticated versions of these signals: curiosity, frustration, uncertainty, surprise, satisfaction, fear, approval, and countless other motivation signals. And SSI may be trying to discover a computational version of this, not literally giving the AI human emotions, but creating a rich internal evaluation system that allows the model to learn from its own experiences before the final reward is known. Now, if this does work, it could massively improve long horizon agents and completely change everything. And another point, that I really do want to talk about, and this is the safe part of superintelligence. So we all know about alignment, and let's say you create an AI that continuously learns and changes itself and becomes dramatically more capable over time. The problem is that you create another problem. How do you make sure its objectives don't drift as it changes? Now, this is much harder than aligning a frozen chatbot. If you have a new AI that spends 10 years learning millions of new skills, interacting with humans, modifying its internal representations, becoming more intelligent, you ideally want its knowledge to change, you want its strategies to change, you want its worldview to become more accurate, but you don't necessarily want its core fundamental values to change. Biology presents an intriguing example. Humans acquire enormous amounts of knowledge throughout their lives, while certain motivational structures features remain relatively present and persistent. Evolution somehow encoded motivations into organisms without explicitly specifying every future situation those organisms would encounter. For example, evolution didn't need to predict Instagram to create a brain concerned with social status. It didn't need to predict universities to create curiosity and competition. It didn't need to predict corporations to create cooperation, loyalty, and reputation. Underlying objective is abstract enough to generalize into completely novel environments, and that is potentially extremely relevant to AI alignment. Instead of giving a superintelligence extremely thousands of brittle rules where you should never do X and always do Y unless Z happens, SSI, what they probably want to do is create something much deeper, a stable internal motivation that continues making sense even as the system becomes vastly more capable. So instead of, teaching millions of examples what constitutes harmful behavior, you might help build a system that develops a high level representation of what human well-being matters. Then intelligence could grow while that underlying preference remains stable. And that is a really hard problem. But if the mechanisms governing learning, generalization, and motivation are connected, solving the first 4 problems might give SSI a way to approach this. And so look, I would say that when it comes to SSI, when you look at what they've said in an interview in 2025, they did say, we're in an age of research company, we are making progress. We've actually made quite good progress over the past year, but we need to keep making more progress on that research. That's how I see it. That was what Ilya Sutskever said. And so remember, now 8 months later, after NVIDIA privately inspected the work, Ilya's language has changed to, we have research that is worth of scaling up. So I think they probably already demonstrated the effect at a small scale, and $5 billion, which is 10 times a compute phase, is about finding whether this continues working when scaled. So I'd watch for if they've basically built a human brain, something along those lines, and a different kind of intelligence. I would say I'm certainly excited.